Hey guys, this is Dunk again. This time I'm talking about the monk for trials, because you need a monk in the trials if you want to get G65 plus keys. And I will try to make it short. And here's the lady. I use the Sanboku set for sure, with area damage and gloves and shoulders, a crit chance EP damage in the helm, crit chance crit damage, amulets, Gungdo gear because you want to spread the palms, Tyrael's might because of the secondary effect, bonus damage to demons. You can also swap that around, like use an Innes chest and then use a witching hour, works as well. You lose the damage buff to demons, but you gain 50% crit damage against everything. Yeah, you can make a case for that. It's either way. In the end, the RNG is defining what you get, not your fine-tuning of the gear. Okay, here rings, focus, and restraint, of course. Belt and panned innas for the damage, for the increased buff by the mantra and the mystic alley. Same for the Crudus boots, which buff the mystic alley. And like that, the fire alley I have gives me 40% damage increase. That's pretty cool. Okay, weapons are Utah's Roar for the cold damage, and of course the Fist of Ass ancient version. You can do trials with a non-ancient, but the exploding palm alternates the weapons, and so if you have a non-ancient Fist of Ass, you will have explosions that are way too weak to jump to higher levels. Okay. Skills I use, Way of 100 Fist, Assimilation, damage bonus of course, Mantra of Conviction overall, damage bonus in the Sanctuary is also another damage bonus. EP, Impending Doom, of course because it's the strongest explosion that you have. Serenity, you will see why, because we don't use a Witch Doctor, and then this here helps to place the palm pretty soon and efficiently. Yeah, and Mystic Alley, of course, Fire Alley. And for I use Beacon of Itar because I have those cooldowns in the Sanctuary and Serenity, and that helps there. I use the Mythic Rhythm. Everyone uses that because you get a 40% damage buff by that, and that's pretty strong, pretty strong. And I use Determination, of course, because you're always surrounded by monsters that get the buff, and Relentless Assault, because the monsters are blind and or frozen all the time in those trials. Right, that's the gear. And the skills, here just some stats here. Unbuffed, completely unbuffed, 53% crit chance, almost 600% crit damage. That's both values are very close to the maximum that you can get. Like, where do I miss crit chance? Here 0.5, here 0.5, and that's it. And crit damage I miss like 8%, and here's another 4%, that's 12%. So 610 would be maximum in that case. Okay, cold damage could be 40, and yeah, you see the damage is pretty okay. And yeah, paragons you just go for max damage and movement speed, and that's it. Nothing else special. Alright, let's go to the trial, and I speed the first wave up because as a monk you can do nothing there. You can stand around and dance, for example, and that's it. You're not needed, and you can't even place the palm in time. Okay, the setup we use here is a wizard, a demon hunter, and the crusader and monk, of course. And the crusader is there for the pulling, wizard and demon hunters are there for proccing the palm in the beginning. Okay, but you as a monk should do the main damage in this, and therefore you need a maximum buffed exploding palm going off. And how do you do that? The most important part is that you make sure that you have focus and restraint buff up all the time, and also that you buff the palm before you place it. That means you have to attack with the generator as often as possible, like do that for 2 seconds or whatever, and then you get the Mythic Rhythm buff up, and you also get some buff from that generator. Like that, if you place the palm on a low health monster that is about to die and to explode, you can spread a very, very strong palm to the monsters around. Problem is you have to replace the palm several times, and you have to make sure that this is also a much buffed palm so you don't lose damage there. After that, the pulling of the Crusader is the most important part, and if he can't do the job properly, you have no chance to get high keys. And how they do that and what they exactly do is up to them to explain. It's not my place. Okay, and here we get a level 70 key in the end. We can get higher, but we also sometimes suffer from lag, as you can see here with this setup, and that sometimes really destroys the run. Okay, hope you can learn something from that. Thanks for watching and goodbye.